I wear the glass? I feel like I look... Okay, I need to get my book out. It's been so long. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to finally be updating you all on all the books I've been reading. I was hoping to do this as like a monthly thing where I what I read in whatever month, like I did previously in October, because I read quite a few in October. Then November hit, and kind of just went downhill from there. I got into a reading slump, and one book took me forever to read, so the last 2 months of the year were not the best for reading. But that's okay, because now, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm going to be telling you all the books that I read in November, December, and this past month, January, which I read more in January. Thank goodness. I'm happy that I got back into my reading kick. I didn't feel as stressed anymore. I don't know what it was. I think it was just because one book took me so long to read that I was just not in the mood to read anymore. Anyway, let's get into it. So at the end of October, I ended with The Wicked King, my bad. I ended with The Wicked King, which is the second book of the Folk of Air series. So, in November, I started off with the Queen of Nothing. Why is this backwards? Pause. Okay, we're good. It looks backwards to me right now, but when we play it back, it doesn't look backwards. Anyway, I started with The Queen of Nothing, which I gave a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It picks up where the last book ended. So Wicked King ended with Jude being exiled. So she was like an exiled queen of the fairy realm. And she is very upset that Carden betrayed her. And she doesn't really know what to do with herself. She just hasn't lived in the human world in so long. So she's like, what do I do? And then, sorry, it's been so long since I read this that I'm just trying to remember everything that like happened and try not to give away like spoilers or anything like that. So basically, the way she gets back into fairy, her twin sister's in trouble, so she goes and pretends it's her to try and fix the things that happened, and she's trying to like fight her feelings for Carden. And sorry, I'm doing a terrible job at explaining this book right now. It was very good. It's been 3 months since I read it. Obviously, I liked it. It was better than the first book, and I think I liked it better than the second one. Anyway, great book. Definitely recommend this series. Just don't go into this series thinking that it's a full-on enemies to lovers book. That is in this series, but I went into it thinking that it was like, that was like the whole premise of the books was the enemies to lovers. Yes, that's in there, but it's basically about like politics and Jude trying to get her way up in society in the fairy realm. Just putting that out there. The next book I read in also November, I'm pretty sure. Yes, November. I'm looking on Goodreads. You should go follow me on Goodreads if you have one. The next book I read was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I jumped on the bandwagon. I've heard really good things about it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars though. It took me a little bit to get into just because I was a little confused on the way it was written. Like, it never specified who was talking at first, so I didn't understand that it was like switching point of view at first, but once I did get past that whole thing, I couldn't put it down. It was really good, and you wanted to know more about it, and you wanted to know, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but you wanted to know why, at least for me, I wanted to know why Evelyn Hugo picked this one journalist to write the book about her, and like why she all of a sudden decided to come out and speak about her truths and everything like that. I really liked it. Definitely recommend this book. It was really good. Next, I started this book in November, and it took me like an entire month to finish it. So I didn't finish this book until December. And that book was Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. I picked it up because I liked the way it looked, honestly. I kept seeing it everywhere, so I picked it up. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. It was such a heartbreaking ending. Well, not like heartbreaking, but it was just so like, the story itself was heartbreaking. I gave it a 4 out of 5 because of how long it took me to actually enjoy this book and get into it. I was probably about like halfway through before I then never wanted to put it down to like know what happened. This is crazy. This is a historical fiction book, so it is about the Tennessee Children's Home Society, which I personally don't remember ever learning in school. Maybe I just don't remember it, but I feel like I would have remembered something like this. So that actually happened, and the woman Georgia Tann was a real person that did these horrible things with these children. And yeah, I don't really want to say too much because I feel like it would spoil it if I said too much, but if you want to look into the Tennessee Children's Home Society, go for it. It's in like dual kind of perspective. It tells you whose perspective it is at the beginning of every chapter. You go from past also to present. So like the past is in 1939 with this girl, Rill. It's all from her point of view, and she's 12 years old in that. And then it fast forwards to present time with a woman named Avery Stafford. She goes to a nursing home with her dad, who's a politician, and they're like trying to get like good press at a nursing home. And this woman comes up to her named May and calls her a different name, and she doesn't understand why. She was very confused, and she like just gets very curious about this older woman who lives in the nursing home and does a lot of digging and thinks it might have something to do with her family, and she doesn't want anything bad to happen or come out about her family. So that's why she does all this digging, and she talks to this lawyer, and they're all connected somehow. You'll find that out if you read it. But yeah, sorry, I'm like out of breath. I'm exhausted. It's 8 o'clock at night. I'm filming this because I have to film it, and then I have to do homework, and I'm tired. It was a long day, and I feel like my voice is giving out now. Anyway, that book was really good once I got halfway through it. If you're into historical fictions, definitely would recommend that book. It was actually very good, and it was heartbreaking to know that this stuff actually happened to these children, and that it went on for so long before anyone knew really that it was going on. And Georgia Tan, I read online anyway. Unfortunately, Georgia Tan died before like any consequences were put upon her, I guess you could say. There was no real like justice with her anyway. Obviously it got shut down and everything, but yeah. So now we're in December. I read 2 holiday books to end out the year because, you know, it was Christmas time and I wanted to get in the mood, get in the cute little holiday spirit mood. So I read some cute books. The first one I read was The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. I gave it a 4. My brain isn't working right now. Anyway, Holiday Swap. I didn't really know anything about this. When I first saw it, I just thought it was really cute, and I wanted to have a nice, cute, Christmassy kind of holiday, romancy type books for the holiday season to read. So I grabbed this one. This is about 2 twin sisters named Charlie and Cass. Charlie is a baker on a reality TV show, and Cass helps run her family's bakery in like a small town. And Charlie has an accident on set and can no longer taste or smell things, so she asks her sister to switch places with her. So now Cass is on the reality TV show and Charlie is now back at home with the bakery. So they're basically just trying to navigate each other's lives, and in the midst of it, Charlie meets someone in the hometown that she started to have feelings for, and Cass starts having feelings for the doctor who treated Charlie, but the 2 guys think they're the other twin. So it's a little complicated. Overall, I thought it was a really cute book. Definitely would recommend this book during the Christmas holiday season. It definitely gets you in the spirit. I really enjoyed it. Definitely read it. The second one I read in December, the second book I read, the second holiday book I read was Blame It on Mistletoe by Beth Garcard. I'm butchering that name, I'm so sorry. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I liked it a little better than the other one. This is also another kind of like holiday switch, but there's this influencer named Elle, and she enters this competition to like whoever gains the most followers or whatever by the end of a certain time wins this prize, or like gets access to like the popular group or whatever. She comes up with an idea to switch places with someone from the UK because her mother and father, I don't know if her father's from there, but her mom is from the UK, and she wants to go back, and like she wants to go and see where her mom is from and do all that stuff because she thinks it would be a lot of fun. So this girl named Holly responds to her like Instagram post or whatever saying she's literally from the town that her mom is from. Turns out, I don't know if this is spoiler or not, but both their parents were friends when they were growing up, and when they realized who each other's daughters were, they agreed instantly that they should switch places for the week and a half that it is, because Holly's also always wanted to go to New York for Christmas time, and she thinks it's like so magical and everything. And along the way, they both meet people that they start having feelings for, and they don't know how to deal with it. It was really cute, and I liked seeing the friendship form between the 2 of them, and how this competition brought some people together. Definitely very cute holiday read. I would definitely recommend it. And that was the last book I read in 2021. So the next book I read, I did start in December, but I finished it in January, so I'm counting it as a January read, considering I finished it a few days into January. January. And so I started this, I don't know if it's going to be a series or not. It says it is on Goodreads. I read King of Battle and Blood by Scarlet St. Clair. This book, well, let me tell you, it was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed this book, like, so much. I did rate it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend this book, especially if you're into like fantasy and romance. That's very smutty, very smutty. I actually wrote that it was very good and had the right amount of spice and plot. So I never got bored of it. I didn't think the spiciness or romance of it was too much. So this story is about Adrian and I'm gonna butcher this name. I'm so sorry. Isolde. I'm just gonna write it right here on screen. Isolde, I don't know. Adrian is the Blood King. He has that name because he is a vampire. He's been alive for 200 years. And everyone pretty much in the kingdom that he runs is vampires. Not everybody, though, is. On the neighboring towns, they're not all vampires. They're actually just normal people. And he's trying to conquer all of Cordova, which is where they live, which is the country they live in. And Isolde is the princess of Lara. And basically the king is right outside their town, and he sees her on the outskirts, and immediately after that decides that's the woman I want to marry. And he meets with the king and her and says, this is how a truce will be made, is if you marry me, basically. And she agrees just to make sure her people are safe and everyone's safe. And it kind of backfires on her because people think she's betrayed them and everything. I don't want to go too much more into the plot of it or anything and why he is so kind and so caring for this girl. It's a very good story. I enjoyed it, and it says on Goodreads that this is the first book, so I think there's going to be more books to the series. I hope, because I want to know more about it, this world. Definitely recommend reading it, especially if you're into fantasy. And yeah, the next book I read after that was The Love Hypothesis by Hazelwood. Yes, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was that good. I'm obsessed with it. It was so cute. I was smiling the whole time reading this book. I don't know what it was, just all the little details about Olive and Adam's relationship and everything. It was so cute. I loved it. I'm not gonna go too much into detail because this is such a popular book. Definitely recommend. The next were some Kindle reads I read. Actually, the next book I read was not a Kindle read. Just kidding. No, okay, yeah. The next one was a Kindle read. I read The Paid Bridesmaid by Sarah Wilson. I don't know if it's Sarah Wilson because there's an I in the middle of it. But I read that book on Kindle. It was only $1, I think, so I just bought it. I rated it a 3.85 out of 5 stars. It was a really cute story and I loved reading it. It was about this girl named Rachel who started her own business, and she basically runs a company where brides who don't have people to stand up there with them on their big day can pay them to stand up there and help run things and make things go smoothly throughout the day. She is currently in Hawaii helping a bride named Sadie out and just trying to keep the whole thing going smoothly. And throughout the week, she is trying so hard to fight her feelings for the best man. His name is Camden. It was just cute. I really liked it. Don't really know what else much to say. If you need just a quick, easier read and something that has some cute romance and a little bit of drama and stuff, you'll like this book for sure. The next book I read in January was The Hating Game. I wanted to read it before I saw the movie, and I'm very glad I did. I rated it 5 out of 5 stars. I was so happy reading this book. I don't know what it was, but it was so good. It's about Lucy Hutton and Josh Templeton. They're co-workers. They hate each other basically, and it's an enemies to lovers story. Yeah, I really liked it. I am a little nervous about the movie just because, not to give anything away, but the color of Lucy's eyes. My camera decided to stop recording. Anyway, I'm talking about this book. I'm gonna try and go fast because I only have 2 more books and I want to get this done before it dies and stuff like that. So the color, I was saying that the color of Lucy's eyes plays a really big key at the ending of this book, and they changed them, so I don't know how the the movie's gonna be. I'm really nervous. I just get so disappointed when the book, or like when the movie is not as closely related to the book, because the book is just so good and the movies just can't compare to that. I felt that way with all the after movies. Like, the books are just so good, and then it's like so much is missing out of the movies, and people who love the movies are like, oh yeah, and I'm like, no, that's not actually what happened, but whatever. Anyway, great book. Definitely recommend reading it before seeing it. I also like reading the books before I see a movie or like show, because I want to imagine the world myself. Like, I want to view it in my own eyes before I see how other people perceived it, if that makes any sense. But yeah, definitely go read this book. It was really good. The last 2 books I read on my Kindle. The first one was Falling for Your Best Friend's Twin by Emma St. Clair. It's part of the Love Cliches series, I guess. I don't know if it's a series because it's just all about these 5 best friends. So I read the first one, and I rated it, what did I rate it? I rated it 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's about this first one is about a girl named Abby, and she has these 5 best friends. She's a tech geek. She is very good at fixing bugs and fixing, like, if there's something wrong with your computer, and she's very good at that. She works currently in an IT firm, and she doesn't like it. She's trying to get enough freelance work so that she doesn't have to keep saying it's too high, and I don't know if it's because it's right next to my ring light or not, so we're gonna just keep doing this until it stops. Anyway, so now I'm holding it, so if it's not steady, sorry about that. As I was saying, she's trying to get enough freelance work so that she can quit her daytime job and just do what she actually loves doing, which is like solving bug problems in computers and stuff. So her best friend is Zoe, and she has a twin brother named Zane, and he is having a problem starting this app. Like, it's getting to, like, someone is messing with it, but he doesn't know that. He hires Abby to help fix the problem, and she realizes that someone internally is trying to mess with the launch and mess with the app so that it doesn't actually work. And Abby has always had a crush on Zane, and Zane has always had a crush on Abby since they've known each other. It's kind of like, I don't know what the trope is for that. If you know what that trope is, leave it down in the comments below, because I don't know what it is. The last book I read this month was Out of My League by Sarah Sutton. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was cute. It was like a cute little YA romance. It's about this nerdy girl named Sophia, and she wants to be a journalist when she grows up, and she just found out that her funding for the journalism program at her high school is getting cut, and all the funding is going toward baseball. And she, like, despises the baseball team. She, like, has always hated it. Her boyfriend Scott, though, right now is on the baseball team. She doesn't understand why she's dating him, but she doesn't even want to date him anymore. And the captain of the baseball team, his name is Walsh. Hey, I am now filming the rest of this on my phone because I am impatient waiting for my camera to not be overheated anymore. So, as I was saying, Walsh is the captain of the baseball team, and Sophia, like, despises him, doesn't like him, thinks he's cocky, and, like, just thinks he's, like, so special and all that and everything. And then she gets asked to go to Walsh's party by Walsh. It's the end of year school party, and when she gets there, she notices Scott is cheating on her, and Walsh comes and intervenes and is like, oh, I've always loved you. Like, they pretend that they were having an affair, so then they agree to fake dates so that they don't get in trouble, and so it looks like what Walsh was saying was true and that he wasn't making it up on the spot, which works out in Sophia's favor because she wants to write an article about the baseball team to present it to the board in order to get their funding back for the journalism program, because she does not think it's fair that the baseball team got all of the funding, that the baseball team got all of the journalism's funding. It was such a cute story. I did really enjoy it. It's on Kindle Unlimited. So was the other one. The last 2 books that I read were on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have that, you can go and read them. Anyway, that is all of the books I read in the past 3 months. I'm hoping to get that number up while reading the rest of this year, and I hope I make more videos more recently about books. Sorry if this video is like all over the place, or if I'm like incoherent and don't know what I'm talking about, or if I sound bad. I decided to make this video last minute, and it's 8 o'clock at night, and I'm exhausted because I just got home from work, and my voice is shot. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment down below other videos you'd really like to see from me, and also let me know what books you're reading. I love getting recommendations, and my book collection is growing. I currently work at Barnes & Noble, so I get a discount on books, and so I just keep buying books, and I'm not reading them fast enough, so, but I don't care. Comment down below what your favorite book is right now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.